My sisters have left me here. This video is mostly for my own memory. And to realize and to share this beautiful woman, my mom, who might not be able to speak, but I want to share with her, for the record, that I realized everything I've ever done was because of her. The reason I do what I do is because of you, Mom. That when I talk about feeling it to heal it, I am doing it exactly during this time, and it has not been easy. And that's what my life has been about. Feeling it so I don't have to carry it any longer. I'm doing it for you, Mom. It's always been for you. My mom has always had trouble breathing. And in taking full breaths. And I, as a young child, had trouble breathing. It's why I find it so important that we tap into the breath. Because we can numb ourselves when we don't breathe. And we lose our vitality, and we lose our feeling. And she's so strong. It's the last way I want to see her. I love you so much, Mom. I can't. There's a lot of stuff that we've been handling this morning, and a lot of stuff I want to talk about, I want to share, but timing and knowing that it's a lot of emotions that I'm handling, and everything I've ever done was because of my mom. I'm on the path I'm on because of all the healing that I felt my mom needed. Everything from breathing and the passion that I have for it, to feeling it fully, to heal it. All of that is because of what I've witnessed my mom growing up. The times when she would say nobody would be there to help her when she was raising us children. And at the same time having a limiting belief that nobody ever does anything without wanting something in return, also kept her from ever allowing that help that she said nobody was willing to give. That even as a child I witnessed she was denying help when it was offered because she didn't feel worthy. And I took on that story. What happens. What we don't realize is we take on the stories and beliefs of our parents. And in all these years, I've worked on healing myself because I saw how I did that myself with my parents, both my mother and my father. That even now I'm sitting here reflecting and learning so much more about myself through this experience. And being reminded that this woman has been my mentor, my support, and always been there for me when I needed her. And that even though I know a lot of people, because you don't know the full story of everything of our lives, her going into a shelter was not something I was aware of. But there's been times when my mother has felt more comfortable around certain types of people because it gave her a glimmer into how much better her life was, and that she's also helped others because of her own need to be helped. And she's a very giving, loving person. She's very stubborn, very strong-willed. I get that, and my sisters and I all admit we definitely have that. Very resilient. But the palliative care told us today that her quality of life, and as we know her to be, her definition of freedom is grabbing the car keys and going and doing as she pleases. That would not happen if we were to turn around and try to keep her any longer than her body could handle. That if she had to be on assisted care with a machine or in a living facility where others were caring for her, or even with us, that wouldn't be what her wishes. And she does. I know her. I know what she's always told us for years. My stepdad had colon cancer. He had a colostomy bag. And one of the things she turned to me one day and said was, "I couldn't do it. I'd rather die." I know my mom. This is the hardest time of my life. Nobody wants to lose their mother. And that's what this time is for, is me to come to terms that she won't be physically with me anymore. And I just spent a good amount of time with her now, just really sharing with her how much everything I've ever done was because of her. That truly, when I talk about feeling it to heal it, when I talk about the breath, all of that is because of her. It's allowed me to see in myself what I've been working to heal for me has been for my family and my generations of ancestors, and for other women. Everything starts with self. Check this out. I'm over here in Natural Grocers, which is really cool because I had never been to one before. And so I'm popping my cherry, where Tom had never been to any of the places in Florida where I live now. And so now I'm in Omaha, Nebraska at Natural Grocers. And they also carry Evan Haley, which is awesome because I don't know if anybody else likes this line, but this smells so good. The lemon thyme. Oh my gosh, you've got to spritz yourself. And tell you what, thyme is like, we got thyme, which, okay, now I'm going to try not to be emotional because I've been crying a lot today. Because I just caught myself on the thyme thing. If I could impart anything, tell people you love them and be present with them when you can. Sometimes we're too busy trying to make a life. We're not actually living the life we have. And that's one of the biggest lessons I'm taking away from this time. My sisters and I have been going through our own personal individual experiences emotionally. And that's causing our own stuff to come up. And it's what happens, the dynamics with family, is when you're processing in your way and others are processing in their way, it can cause some tension and some discomfort. And so we're trying really hard to communicate well with each other and hold each other where we're at and honor that. So if you have anyone that you love in your life, family-wise, put ego aside. Tell them you love them. If you're wondering, during this time, this is what I'm handling for food cravings. Grabbing some necessities to nourish my body and some of the comfort foods. So, it's interesting that right now because my sisters are in TJ Maxx at the moment, and I decided to sit in the car for a little bit. Mostly because I was getting some food on. They both ate at this place that if I don't feel comfortable in a restaurant, and there's an interesting dynamic, it's completely different here in Omaha. If I don't feel that the staff is courteous enough and compassionate enough about my food needs,
allergy concerns, when I ask questions, if I get kind of like a, well, I don't know, or a very, let's just say if you yourself need something and you understand where that comes from, you would be more, like understanding of others. So I don't have any, I'm not upset with the people. I just have chosen and learned over time that when I go into eating establishments, if I don't feel that there is some form of customer service, let's just say that. It's very simple. If the customer service does not feel like it's there, if it doesn't feel conducive, because I actually pick up on energies. So I understand that if I don't feel comfortable with the individual I'm also that's handling my food, if they don't approach me and appear to me in a loving state, then that means my food's not going to arrive that way. That means that the energy that's going to be brought behind the scenes is not going to support what I need to nourish me. And so I have to be very conscientious of this. Now, mind you, I'm like on, I'm grabbing what I would call my version of junk food, yummy nastiness on the healthiest level that I can actually determine. I will reach for things. This is a great example. I just downed this entire bag, right? Because right now I'm just, and I don't do this very often, and I ate it with these jalapeno Kite Hill cheese, and then I also found that they had this baba ganoush. I haven't had it in a while. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm eating. I'm very conscious of what I'm putting in my body. If I feel I'm craving something, I'm actually honoring it right now. There's some other things I've been craving. So funny enough, my sister just called and interrupted that video, and that's okay. That's okay, because I'm going to go in now. But I just wanted to share that, again, no matter what you eat, no matter what you're going through, don't beat yourself up. I've said this in the past, haven't said it in a while, but if you're going to cheat, enjoy what you eat. And when I'm eating this food, I'm really just like, I feel like I'm in a different space. I feel like I'm on another planet. I don't really feel like I'm fully present because I am really processing a lot of emotion. So much my mom has influenced my life. I wouldn't change a thing. I really wouldn't. She went through some hard times in her life and she never got the healing she needed. And I just have always known, as the oldest daughter and always having to step up and do things at an early age, that I didn't really get to enjoy some of my childhood as a result of having to step into more of an adult role. That number one, I want to say that I really honor and I'm appreciating my youngest sister right now, because she's stepping into a role that's really beautiful too, where she's also holding me in a way that I've never had her do that for me. And so I'm very appreciative to that. And I know she's dealing with her stuff, and the same with my middle sister too. And it's not always easy when you're with family, because you're expecting what you've always known. And so I'm trying to be neutral and quiet and allow people to just go through their experiences. And also to express myself when I need to, which isn't always easy. But because my mom did not find her healing, I know myself, that is what has motivated me all of my life, to know that I'm here to help others. That what you're seeing me go through, I know I'm not the only one, and nobody wants to lose their mother. When I sat there with my mom earlier, and most of these videos I'm realizing I'm doing them for my own self more than anything. I mean, I'm able to share what I'm going through, but I'm really finding that when I'm speaking about what's going on for me, I'm getting more of a deeper reflection, a deeper insight. Like when I sat there with my mom, I started a video that I'm not sure that it's going to get in this vlog or what have you, because I feel a little funny, because my mom's not in the state that I would want her to be remembered as. So videoing me with my mom, I stopped the video and then I just sat there and I just wanted to say to her that I know what's happening right now is bringing us all together for a reason. And I know there's a silver lining. then at the same time that I'm letting her physical body go, and there were many times that she was unable to follow through on promises she made to help me or to do things for me, with me over the years, that when she wasn't able to step into it and follow through and into the commitment she claimed to make to me, I said to her today, I said, you're going to be more available for me now more than you were ever. And I honor that. And that I love her no matter what, and I wouldn't change anything. And, you know, I think all of us want to be loved, not for what we bring, but just being who we are. And that we can't inspire unless we're truly in our own, showing up as we are, not as we think people want us to be, not as the expectation of who we are is, but just being authentic, just truly being who you are. Yes, we're all going to have emotions, and yes, it takes confrontation and dedication to handling and processing them, and not to take them out on others. That takes a lot of neutrality. That takes a lot of emotional regulation. And so I check myself with my sisters, and, you know, there's things we're talking about, we're bringing up. We're having to make some really hard choices right now. Ultimately, the quality of my mom's life will never be the same. And when we spoke with palliative care today, the question was, if you could describe your mom, what was she like? And we all laughed and said, well, my mom, the first thing I think of, and I describe my mom this way, my mom's description, my mom's version of freedom is to grab the keys and have the freedom to go where and when she pleases, no matter what. And the first thing the doctor said was, that will never happen again. She will never be able to function the way she did. She may have to live in assisted care, be on breathing machines, assisted, you know, with the tracheal, a trachea inserted. And we all just were like, we wouldn't do that to her. And so, as it stands right now, it's just a matter of time. And us saying our goodbyes and letting her go. And releasing all the emotions. And really feeling it. And allowing it to process and move. Now, I don't know how long that will take me for me to get through, or how long I will be in grieving. In Kundalini Yoga, I have had my teachers tell me, you know, the loss of a parent, the loss of a child, you're gonna cry bathtubs full. There's no set number of tears that need to be shed. Just shed as many as you need to, and allow yourself to truly feel it, and allow yourself to honor it and the individual. Love has no limitations, no restrictions, no barriers. And when it's someone who's the matron of the family, who's the bringer of life, they need to be celebrated. This again for me is really a huge, powerful time, because now we're the ones who carry on the line. The healing of our family, of our sisters, our mothers, our grandmothers, and everyone else after us. And that's why I say I felt for a very long time that this time of all of the life that we are living is about healing the divine feminine. Whether you're a man or woman is irrelevant. It's also the divine feminine within the men. And the balancing out and recognizing how much us women have been forsaken, undermined, belittled, betrayed, used, abused. I'm not saying men haven't. That's not even the conversation. That's not even the discussion. But this is about all of us stepping back into our roles, into our personal power, and bringing back the honoring of both the sacred divine feminine and the masculine. Nobody can heal unless they're in balance of both, and honoring and truth of what that means and feels. And we're all trying to recalibrate and rewrite our stories and return to wholeness. And I feel like my mom is leading us in that direction. I truly do. Because I've always felt she was a pioneer in so many ways. She's always been very intuitive. I've always been very deeply connected to her and knowing. And I feel her more now. I do. And I know that she's going to be much more present with me than the time that I feel like I've lost just in the few months that I didn't realize what was going on with her. Because to understand my mom, sometimes she turns her cell phone off. You can't get through to her. Sometimes the phone is broken. She's very technologically, I don't want to say challenged, because she'll tell you that if she touches a computer, it basically blows up. She's had trouble with cell phones over the years. The shelter thing really hit me hard, because I used to be the one that she could turn to and take care of her and give her money when she needed it. But my situation hasn't exactly been the best over the past couple years. And she's helped me. She's shown up for me too. And so it's, I have to deal with my own internal struggles of the fact that I wasn't able to do for her what I felt I should have been able to do. In the past, I knew I could have done it. And I don't like having my hands tied, and that's something I'm processing as well, She was actually getting ready to move into the apartment complex where my sister's at now. But, yeah, that's not going to happen now. She's going to go home. She's going to go home. I just kind of wish she was going home with me. So, this is where I'm at. And, I'm just sitting with the fact that I'm not going to have my mom for very much longer now. And that's the hardest thing to sit with, because she's actually been my best friend for so long. So I just finally got my shower, and my brother Eloy arrived tonight. And I've been challenged to a tickle war. Not gonna happen.
Me and Lita will get some pillows and pillowcases.
Hear this?
And wrap you
He
up.
talks a big game, by the way.
And tickle war you till you pee.
I'm getting the mattress tonight. I can't handle the snoring in the other room. I haven't slept very well the past couple nights.
Plug
And
it
it's
in,
not him,
plug
by
it
the way.
in.
I'll give you a heads up.
You just locked it because you're so delicate. It is hot in here.
It's not as hot in here as it is out there with that oven.
It's hot in here.
So tomorrow is going to be a really, really rough day, because we have to all come to a conclusion and decision on my mom. We pretty much know that we're going to take her off of life support. And they did express that it could be a couple minutes, it could be 90 minutes, it could be a couple days, it could be a week. But to be totally honest with you, the way we feel about it, we feel that she's ready to transition, and it's really about us and getting our last closure or communication and just spending time with her. So we've been honoring our brother and sister to come in, and it really isn't about what one person decides. It's really about what we're going to come together and decide as a family. And we have a lot of things we have to work on, as well as just our own individual processing of this experience. So
Thank you, everyone who has donated, everyone who sent me prayers and beautiful messages and reached out to me. I have not had a chance, obviously, to respond to everyone. There's so much, and it is overwhelming. And so just keeping up on these vlogs, as I said in my earlier videos, that a lot of it's reflection from myself. And it's helping me process as well. So I hope I'm helping someone out there whoever may have ever had this happen, and we're never ready to lose our mom. And she's not even going to be here for my 44th birthday, and she's the only one who ever remembers my birthday.
I remember your birthday. We're going to the beach. That's what you wanted to do. You're going to wear that same outfit last year. To the beach.
The white ruffles?
To the beach.
I'm whipping out my bathing suit. What are you talking about?
I'll remember your birthday.
I love you, honey.
I love you too.
I love you all.
I love you all too.